but we were able to put enough for people to have a full understanding of why Roxanne Shanté is the way she is, or even why she was the way she was. Because a lot of people didn't understand. They would say, you know, she always seemed so angry. She always seemed so confrontational. All she wanted to do was battle. She always wanted to, you know, come out and say stuff, things that she shouldn't. She never wanted to unify. She, you know, and that wasn't true. No one really knew what the life for Roxanne Shanté was off stage. A lot of the girls still were able to, you know, hip and hop and have fun, and didn't realize that for some of us, we went into this as a career, as a livelihood, as a way to make money. You know, I had already had a baby. I already had a family by the time I was 16 years old. So I was already a mom. So therefore, there weren't after parties and things like that for Roxanne Shanté. So I took it very serious.
Your mindset was already different than everybody else.
Exactly, it was.
How did that happen? Now, I know how you got pregnant, I'm saying, but how did that happen at such an early age? You're just playing around and nobody, you know, wearing condoms, or just you?
How did what happen?
No, getting pregnant at such an early age. Did you plan that, or?
Well, I think we're all born with exactly the tools that we need to get pregnant.
I know that.
That's what you're saying. I mean, I don't think I really need to explain the birds. Is that what you want from me? I know I came in here in mom mode, but you want me to give you that speech now?
No. He's like, Mama, I like that. No. What I mean is, like, did you plan to?
Well,
have a
no.
baby
Actually, I didn't plan to have a career, nor did I plan to have a child. But the main factor was I didn't plan for them to steal everything. I didn't plan for people to come in my life and take advantage of the situation and circumstance. I didn't plan to be in foster care. I didn't plan to have mismanagement. You know, I didn't plan to have bad contracts. So a lot of things happened early in life that I did not plan. But one of the things that was totally a blessing from that is my son, and that I must say. And there's a lot of focus in that in the movie, you know, as to see how certain things took place. If anything, if anyone was to say anything or want to question anyone, why not question the fact of the adults around me at that time with me being a minor, and ask them if she was on stage and she's out here performing and she's on tour, then how did that happen?
How did you even work that out? Meaning, like, you're a young mom.
Yes.
And it's like you're performing, you got to go to the studio. I
took him everywhere. I took him everywhere. I would not separate from him. He was on the back of my album covers. He was inside of my magazine pictures. When people would tell me, a lot of magazines refused to give me covers because I refused to not be on the cover with him. And they would say, oh yeah, well, you know what? And ironically, now they're promoting teen pregnancy with certain shows that they have on television and things like that. But for me, that's not what I was promoting. What I was promoting was the fact of how being a single mom and being a teenage mom and still wanting to be a mother and still understanding the responsibility of not wanting to leave my child anywhere and everywhere with anyone and everyone. So because of that, I would take him to shows. I would take him to the studio. I would pile everybody, Biz, Kane, Shan, everybody would take all their coats, throw them on the floor in the studio. We would actually make a pallet. My son would sleep on the pallet while we're in here recording and doing different things in the studio. And when I had to do shows, whoever wasn't on stage, it was their turn to hold him. So he became the Juice Crew's baby, literally, because they were my brothers. And so in turn, because I was the person who was on stage and maybe the promoters had requested to come and perform, you know, we had to fit it in. We are still a family. And because of that, we were very family orientated. So we did that. We made it happen.
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop, baby.
You know, you talk about growing up and being a young mother.
Yes.
You know, when you grew up, where'd you grow up? Jersey?
I grew up initially in Queensbridge public housing, and then I moved to Newark, New Jersey. I actually gave birth to my son in Newark, New Jersey, and Newark is a very family-orientated city. It's one where if you come in there as a teen mom or you come in there in a situation, you don't have to worry about being on your own or being alone at that time. But then again, that's also a very different time. But at that time, there was always that help, that person who was willing to, okay, you want to keep your family together, this is what we're going to do. Because I didn't just have my son, I also had my sisters. So, you know, I was like a mom with, you know, taking care of everyone at the time. So
now you grew up with mom and dad, or?
No.
So
I grew up with just mom, and
you ever meet dad?
A very strong. She's a very strong woman, and I wouldn't change a thing about that. And no, I didn't have any interaction with my dad whatsoever. But
not even till today?
Not even till today. And one of the things I say is having the type of mother that I have allowed me not to miss that. where people say, well, does it lead to daddy issues? Does it lead to...
Sure.
I think we're going to have all types of issues when you have certain entities missing from your life. But overall, the way you're able to handle things, I think it made me a stronger woman. It made me very independent at a very young age. It also made me very aware of certain things that you can and cannot do, certain things, certain people you should trust and certain people that you shouldn't. And we learn by trial and error. But luckily, most of my trial and error took place way before the age of 18. So by the time I was 18, I was pretty set.
Hey, listen, just because you're struggling don't mean you're failing.
Exactly.
Let me tell you that.